Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mongoose, and I'm going to be your host here on my new series, which is The Art of Strategic Goal Setting. As of now, this series is going to be about 18 videos in total, and at the time of recording this one, it's going to be about 6 or 7 sections long. In this first section, I'm going to be going over the basics of goals and different aspects of them. This section itself is going to serve as a foundation that the rest of the series is going to be built upon. So if the stuff in this section is new to you, it's very important that you watch these few videos. That way you'll have a solid foundation on what goals are, why we set them, and other basic aspects of goals, and the rest of the series will just flow a lot easier. So before we get into this video, if you end up finding something useful or informational in this video, or you just want to help support this channel in general, please consider smashing that like button below, and if you don't want to miss the rest of the series, make sure you subscribe as well. So without further ado, let's get into the video. What are goals and why do we set them? So before we get too far into talking about goals and such, we should really understand the basic definition of goals themselves. So I went on to dictionary.com and I looked up what their definition of goals are, and they said, goals are the result or the achievement towards which effort is directed. So goals can be as small as saying, I want to wake up early tomorrow, and to do that you'll take 2 different steps. 1, you'll set your alarm at an earlier time, and 2, when that alarm goes off, you'll actually take action and get up out of bed and listen to your alarm clock. So goals can be as simple as 2 steps, and they can be as simple as thousands of steps. Say you want to have a goal to be a millionaire, or you want to break world records in weightlifting. So really, in simple terms, goals are just something that you're working towards. So before you watch this video, you probably already had a decent understanding of what goals are. But now I want to talk about, why do we as humans set goals? So on a super basic level, humans as a species are extremely goal-oriented. So the human brain is constantly striving to accomplish goals that it sets both consciously and subconsciously. So in other words, when you feel hunger, your brain is subconsciously working to achieve the goal of ending that feeling of hunger. So in other words, when we feel hunger is a subconscious effort that our mind is telling us, hey, you need food, you need energy, go find some and eat it and consume it. That way you reach the goal of satisfying your need for energy. Now that's an instinctual adaptation that our brains have developed over thousands of years that make us feel hunger. That way we don't run out of energy and just start passing out because we don't have any fuel to run on. Now that's a good way to visualize a subconscious goal. Now I want to talk about conscious goals, because conscious goals is really what this whole series is going to be about. The art of strategic goal setting. We're constantly going to be setting conscious goals so that we can level up in the worlds from fitness to finance. So why do we set conscious goals? Now I know there are thousands of reasons that we set goals as humans. It can be anything from wanting to look better, to wanting to have more money, to wanting to impress your friends or a crush. But the way I look at goals is a way that we can add value to our lives. So when I set goals, I've never really set a goal in a negative aspect. I've never set a goal that would put me in a worse state than I am right now. So whenever you set a goal, you're constantly trying to improve the state of your life. And like I said before, it can be anything from health to financial. It doesn't have to be in any certain sector of your life. But the idea is when you set that goal, by reaching it, you'll be in a better spot in your life. So now that I've talked about conscious and subconscious goals, I want to talk about how our brains react through the process of goal setting and goal achieving. Now you may have heard of this term because it's starting to come into the light over the past few years, and what I'm talking about is dopamine. Now a brief rundown of dopamine is basically a chemical in your brain that when it's released, you start to feel satisfaction, you start to feel good, and naturally your body just loves the feeling of dopamine. Now the reason why goals themselves are so amazing is because any size goal, from waking up early in the morning to breaking world records, will release dopamine in your brain, which will give you a sense of satisfaction and achievement. Therefore, the actual act of achieving that goal makes us feel good and makes us feel satisfied. And everybody wants to feel good and satisfied, right? And at the end of the day, the way I look at goals is a great way to add a purpose and a meaning to your life. Because you're not just living day to day, getting by and keeping up with your normal lifestyle. When you have a goal, you're constantly achieving something better and you're adding meaning behind all of your actions. Now before this lesson ends, I want to tie this into a metaphor and introduce you to this metaphor that I plan on using for the extent of the series. So I've been strategically goal setting for about 5 years now, and obviously I've evolved and adapted the way I set goals, and that's exactly why I'm making this series for you guys, because I'm giving you guys all of the tips and strategies and tricks that I use in order to set goals. And every time I set a goal, I try to find a new tip or a new strategy so that I can reach that goal easier and have a better chance of success. So this is the metaphor that I'm going to be using discussing throughout this series. Back in about 7th or 8th grade, I was lost. I was in a dark state of mind, and I really was not enjoying my life. I had no reason, I had no purpose for being, and I was just living day to day just for no reason. I had no purpose. And this may sound like an exaggeration, but trust me, it's not. I really felt like I had no reason to be alive. Now, understanding that, I was lucky enough to find a passion, an activity that brought a purpose to my life, that brought a reason for living, and really it completely changed my life and formed who I am today. And what I'm talking about is powerlifting. Now, I got into it through football because I ended up joining the football team, but really the passion came from actually lifting weights. Something about it, and it's gonna be different for everybody. Maybe you haven't found your passion yet, maybe you have, and that's amazing. But once you find your passion, you'll know, because almost every morning you're gonna wake up and that passion will be sitting in your mind saying, hey, when are we gonna go lift? Hey, when are we gonna go to the gym? Stuff like that. All of your tasks throughout the day will be oriented around that passion of yours. And trust me, if you haven't found your true passion yet, it'll be the best day of your life when you find your true passion, because it will completely change the way you actually look at your life. So anyways, in 7th grade, I got into the weight room at my school and I saw the record boards. And I looked at them and I saw 415 pound squat record, right? And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm gonna make a name for myself in my school. I'm not just gonna be some kid who played football and lifted. I wanna stand out above the rest. Now, a few months went by and I still remember the day. I was sitting in my math class in 8th grade and we had just finished up some assignment and I was sitting there, I was thinking about lifting, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to break my high school squat record. I'm going to squat 500 pounds. Now, depending on who you are, this may seem like a small goal or a massive goal, but for me, this was an absolutely massive goal, because at the time of setting that 500 pound goal, I only had about 4 years to train for that, and I was probably squatting around 180 pounds at that time. So I had a lot of work to do in order to achieve that goal. And I'm going to be using this metaphor in depth in further videos and actually tying in different strategies and tricks I use to achieve that goal. But for now, I just want to let you guys know that through those 4 years of training to achieve that goal and actually achieving that goal was probably the best experience that I have ever had in my entire life. Just achieving that goal and actually putting in so much work and seeing it all work out in the end, that is probably the best experience I've ever had. And again, that's exactly why I'm making this series, because I want you guys to be able to feel how I felt on that day of actually achieving that goal that I had worked for 4 years. And not every goal has to be 4 or 5 years long. You can have a goal that can be just a month long. You can have a goal that'll be a week long. You can have a goal that'll be 10 years long. It's just all dependent upon you. But I just want to solidify that if you're feeling lost in life, if you're feeling like you don't have a purpose or a reason for being, you need to get into goal setting. Trust me, goal setting can be an absolute lifesaver, and that is why you guys need to get into it. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not, but all it takes is just watching a few of these videos, and through watching this series and learning how to strategically set your goals, you'll drastically improve your chances for success and your chances of feeling a massive sense of accomplishment. So guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for the next episode, episode 2, where we'll mainly be talking about the difference between a goal and a dream. So guys, again, if you enjoyed today's video or you found something useful, please consider smashing that like button to help support me and this channel grow, and that will also help these videos get out to more people so that they can also learn and benefit from these videos as well. And a great way to make sure you don't miss the rest of the series, you might want to consider subscribing down below and maybe even turn on post notifications. That way you're first to the video and you can get learning as fast as possible. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It just means a lot just to have you here and watching and learning. And I wish you guys the best of luck on any goals you set. I've got your back. I know you got mine. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. And never forget, the grind don't stop.
You've got to embrace the grind. Have a hustle hard mentality. Believe in yourself. Never give up. You've got to eat, sleep, and breathe the dream. I believe in you.